Welcome to Down the Rabbit Hole, the podcast where one innocent Google search turns into 37 open tabs and a complete waste of an otherwise productive evening. So I'm Wes, and if you used last week's clue, you may know that this week I Googled, can my phone read my mind? That's right, it seems that every single conversation I have ends up on Instagram on my next scroll. I'm like, what is going on? Even after last week's episode, Temu's trying to sell me silicone anal plugs for $1.20. It's just insane. And, you know, we all have that one friend that I guess puts a little bit of tape over their front camera because they're terrified of Google or the government or someone watching them. But what I usually find is it's usually my friend that likes porn more than everyone else. So that might be another reason why. But anyway, yes, mind reading. So when I had a look into this, my rabbit hole, the first thing I kind of came up with was around AI technology, which makes sense. So there's some hyper-specific predictive AI out there that a lot of companies are using. Where basically, you know, they use your search history, your demographics, your age, even your friends that you're connected to, everything you click on. You know, they know what time you leave for work each day. And they basically use all of that data together to basically build an algorithm, which I guess predicts what you may be wanting to buy or needing to buy in the future. And therefore, it's just very clever algorithm marketing, whatever you want to call it. So it then pops up in your search. Yesterday, for instance, went to the swimming pool for a normal swimming lesson for my son, and half an hour before I need to leave, bing, comes up on my phone. Traffic indicates that it's going to take you 16 minutes to get to the pool today. It's like, hang on, how do you know I'm going to the pool? I mean, I am, but yeah, very clever. So there you go. There's also a little bit out there on different apps that might actually be listening in to kind of ambient conversations. Now, the evidence on this is thin. In fact, I think there's some court cases in the US about this, and they haven't been able to, I guess, find any certainty behind it. And so now it's kind of called the Eavesdropping Myth, that different apps are potentially listening to your conversations. This one's really interesting because I am convinced, although it doesn't happen with my wife, but every single time we have a conversation, bang, it's on my... This isn't even like me typing anything, it's just a conversation, innocent conversation with my wife, and there it is on my next ad when I'm scrolling through social media or whatever. So a little bit scary. And also shared data networks. So obviously if you're on the same network as someone else, it's using what they may have searched and is also filtering it over to your algorithm, which is probably why I get heaps of ads for high heels and for perfume and for sick true crime podcasts, because there are three things that my wife's obviously sitting next to me searching while we're watching a bit of telly at night. The other thing out there, which is, I guess, like a confirmation bias, so a bit of a psychological thing, it's called frequency illusion, or the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon, where basically you're probably seeing hundreds and hundreds of ads anyway throughout the day. You're scrolling through, but your brain just registers the particular ad that perfectly aligns to what you're thinking at that time, which makes it kind of feel supernatural. And you see that a little bit with, sometimes you buy a new pair of shoes and suddenly you notice everyone out there who has brand new shoes, whereas, if you're not in the shoe market, you really don't notice. So, it's kind of your brain not playing a trick on you, but a little bit of what might be going on there as well that makes it look worse than it actually is, or more obvious. But there are researchers out there and tech developers who are kind of putting together a lot at the moment, like wearable headbands that can actually interpret your brain waves for other useful stuff, of course, but that therefore is collecting a lot of data, which can obviously help companies. And you often sometimes sign up to say, I select, you're looking for insurance, I know, worst mistake ever, stay away from that sign up page, because I tell you what, you get bombarded from every single company because they obviously on-sell your email address, and it's all over for the next month. So that's super annoying. But what can you do? What can you do to improve this? So one of them is to change your microphone access in your phone settings to kind of only be able to use your microphone for apps that you really need to, so video calling apps, for instance. The other thing you can do is disable voice triggers like Hey Google or Hey Siri. I don't know about you, but the little blue ball comes up. Siri there's listening to me. She's kind of come up accidentally, and I don't know how long it's been on there for. So is she being a cheeky Siri and listening to lots of my combos? I'm not sure. But anyway, I like Siri, so I keep her on there. But if you're worried about this stuff, you can definitely turn off those voice triggers. And the other thing you can do is turn off personalized ads in your Google or social media, on your Apple settings and so on. It doesn't completely stop them, but it definitely improves the situation. But you might quite like all those ads and those targeted ads. I mean, sometimes it's good, especially for me. I'm starting to not lose my memory, but I've got kids. I've got so much going on that I'm sometimes scattered, and then something I Googled before comes up. For instance, looking at some swimming goggles for my son, completely forgot about it, and then bang, I've got 18 swimming goggle ads. I'm like, yeah, that's right, I've got to get swimming goggles for my son. So can be handy, there's some positives. Anyway, if you've made it this far through the podcast, congratulations to you, well done. I've probably now completely confused your algorithm, and if I haven't, I'm going to with next week's episode, because my next tab I've got up there is on goats. That's right. Goats and why they occasionally turn into lawn ornaments. Interesting phenomenon. Let me go have a bit of a search and I'll get back to you. So we'll see you next week.